Hello, this is Allison Church. Hope you're having a good day. About a dozen of you on the last video that I did on certain respected websites asked me a question that I failed to answer, and I apologize for that. They asked me, "What does my purse look like?" Let me show you. This is my purse. It's cool. It's got pockets. I'm sorry I didn't show it to you last time. It's been a challenge to keep the damn strap on my shoulder, and sometimes I do the Indiana Jones and I put it across, and it's like I want to look at some people that stare at me and go, "It's a satchel. Go away." But it's fun. I like carrying it, and it makes me feel whole. So there's that. I'm sorry that this video came to you late today. I had some very good news today, so I had to go out and be a little merry with some people. I found out that two of my books had been rewarded and honored with the Best Of award from the Audio Book Reviewer. And it was a good moment. The two books are Dark Passenger and Knowing God. Dark Passenger was awarded Best in Occult Horror this year. And Knowing God, and this is the one that threw me for a loop, Knowing God has been nominated and awarded Best Fantasy Romance of 2021. I never considered myself a romantic person, but it's cool. I'll take it. Both books, if you're interested, are listed on my Facebook page, and you could peruse and get to know me and everything. Dark Passenger, by far, is my favorite book. It's got everything. It's got the Titanic disaster. It's got old Scotland Yard, Sherlock Holmes, Basil Rathbone kind of whodunits. It's got a Hammer horror classic kick to it. So basically, it's a horror novel that takes place on the Titanic. And if you already know what happened to the Titanic, I'm going to, spoiler alert, the boat sinks. But it's a cool story. Knowing God is more about a gentleman who gets out of a mental institute after trying to kill himself and runs into a beautiful, perfect, annoyingly perfect woman named Amanda, and comes to find out that she's God, and she's come down to walk within the hallways, highways, and byways of her creation and try to find out and figure out why so many people are trying to take their life all of a sudden. If you're a devoutly religious person, I'm probably going to have to warn you that this book will insult you. I worked it on the artistic theory that everything about faith, dogma, and religion we've gotten wrong. So, but other than that, it is a wonderful, heartfelt romance. And I never thought I could write one, but I did. So I'm very happy and honored that the audiobook reviewer thought that I was worthy enough for 2 awards this year. That's never happened to me before. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Now, there is something that I call, there's something that I call the silence. That almost everybody who, I can almost say almost everybody who has an alternative or different lifestyle from the normals has to go through. That's where friends, family, colleagues, who used to talk and laugh and share intimacies with you that, usually these people don't share with anyone else. And it's one of the charms of, having a trusted friend. Suddenly, and without notice, ghost you. Don't return your phone calls, etc., etc. Those things, unfortunately, are reality in this world, but they also hurt like a son of a bitch. I mean, there have been countless nights that I've cried trying to figure out what the frack happened. What did I do? And what did I say? I don't want to obviously go to, well, they're doing this because I'm transgender, because I'm changing my sex, living the identity I should have had in the first place. I went to a reunion of that some of the people in my old high school graduation class were putting together. It wasn't a formal reunion. It was just to get together to catch up and say hi, since the COVID, has done what it's done. And I went, and I was sitting at this table, this huge circular table, all by myself. I felt like King Arthur, who got the date wrong, and none of the knights are going to come until next Saturday. So I'm sitting there, and I'm watching everyone else have fun and drinking terrible punch. And this guy that I knew, who was on the basketball team and was a friend of mine, we talked during lunch, as a lunch buddy kind of thing. He sits down, and he's like with an eye shot of me, and I kind of have my head kind of like this, and I'm looking at him, and I'm smiling. I'm happy to see that he's still alive. Once you get my age, being alive is a victory. He looks at me, I go, and then I smile. And he wasn't really, even though he was on the basketball team, he was never really a ladies' man. And he looks at me, and he sees me smiling at him, and then he looks behind him. I've done this too. He looked behind him to see if there was a clock above the wall, and that I wasn't looking at him, I was looking at the clock. There was no clock. And then when he turned around, I laughed at him again, and I went, he got up, and he started trotting over, and as he was trotting over, I realized what had happened. He thought a hot chick was calling him over to talk to him, because he had that certain cadence in his walk that said, oh my God, I'm meeting a girl and I might get laid. He sat down, and I looked at him and said, hi, Tad. His name was Teddy. We called him Tad. I said, you don't recognize me, do you? And he goes, of course I recognize you. I said, Tad, you knew me as Dawn. God, I hate saying my dead name. It burns, precious, it burns. His eyes got this big. Makeup, by the way. His eyes got that big, and he goes, you're shitting me. I'm going, no, I'm transitioning, because I did kind of suggest to him once that I was thinking about it, but his reaction was so that I told him I was joking. Yeah, I know, coward's way out, but I had yet to get my sea legs. But I got him, and but he talked to me, and we talked for about 20 minutes, and he kept looking in this area. And I said, I hate to bust your bubble, Bubba, but they're fake. I mean, it's all makeup. It's a big facade. And I tried to tell him a little bit of what gender dysphoria was like, and how it is, and how you live with it. He had to get up and go to the restroom. I think I lost a friend that day. And unfortunately, it hasn't been the first. Well, so the silence is a very real reality. Um, there are times, especially at my work, where I have to deal with people. And I'm going, "How may I help you, sir?" Or "How may I help you, ma'am?" And I will get that look. There's only been a couple who were really cruel. But I just wish people would realize that people like me, and for the ones that are watching this, people like you, we're all here to find out who we are. We're all here to serve a purpose, find a purpose, be a purpose. We all have feelings. And sometimes feelings are broken, but most of the time they're pleasant. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm thinking too much, which I told you is a fault of mine. I wish that I could offer a simple explanation, except for the fact that people are scared, frightened, and cruel when they meet the unknown or something new. They don't know if it's friend or foe, animal, vegetable, or mineral. So I get that part of it. I get it. I get it. You know, you want to put your toe in the water, metaphorically speaking, and see if the water's good, you know. But words do hurt. God. And they're powerful too. So the next time any of you find someone who, you know, has a nose ring or, you know, a cheek piercing or transgender, homosexual, pansexual, non-binary, or just someone who is trying to explore the outer edges of reality, please, please be kind to them. You might not have to condone or understand the way that they are living, but they are living. They are sentient. They have just about as much right to exist on this plane as you do. You know, like the song says, put a little love in your heart. I, you guys don't, I don't think you really appreciate how much I enjoy talking to you. You are a wonderful group of people. And I hope if you see me on the street, or if you see someone who looks like me on the street, go up to them, be kind, be gentle, ask. And if it is me, you got a hug coming. So, like Abby on NCIS, I'm a hugger. So, I do wish you a very happy day and a good night. And I will be back tomorrow because I have this day and the next day off. I'm only going to do these on my days off so I can dedicate my time to you. And I'm not rushed by the minutia of tasks that have to be done during a business day. So, God bless. Take care. love yourself, and be good to everyone. All right. I'm Allison Church, and this is Allison Through the Looking Glass. Have a wonderful night.